Hello friends, Tristan Banning, Icy Manipulator, drinking coffee out of a mug that's not from Japan. Today we're going to talk about a few things. This is just like a jumble. I wanted to show you some of the cards I recently picked up. I'm always talking about these decks I'm working on and this and that, and I promised one day I'll go through my decks. I'll do a proper commander deck tour, standard deck tour. I just haven't figured out a way to that makes me feel happy about showing it. But I get a lot of cards, and a lot of bulk, and a lot of rares, and all the cards. I got a lot of cards. And a lot of the cards that I don't use or save for later, because sometimes I'll go through them, I'm like, this is a good comment, I could see myself using this. This is a staple. I can put it in any deck. The ones I don't, I put aside, and then I end up selling them in bulk. It takes a long time, you know, like thousands of cards for like hundreds of dollars in store credit. And then I use those to get better cards, higher value cards, cards that are harder to pull in a pack, and the money to pack buying to pull card ratio doesn't meet. So, you know, you do the thing. Anyway, all that to say, I was in MagicCon. I grabbed a really cool version of Snapcaster Mage. I decided to do a blue and black commander deck that's just kind of mean, put a lot of like really heavy duty blue cards. But as I was doing it, because I don't normally touch blue, back in the day, definitely green and black. That was my vibe. So I'm trying to lean into blue. And so as I'm going through all my bulk, as I'm going through all the cards, I'm finding stuff that I've saved that I could finally put in a blue deck. Now, sidebar. Sorry, these stories are so long. I went to the Edge of Eternity's pre-release and then a standard showdown, both of which I won. And in that, I noticed the deck is incredibly artifact heavy. That's great. Love artifacts. And I ended up pulling at first 2 and then a third Tezzeret Cruel Captain, which really interacts well with artifacts. So as I'm going through my blue cards and I have all these old artifact cards or artifact synergizing cards, I was like, do I do it? Do I build a blue and artifact colorless deck? And the answer is yes. These are commander decks because of the timelessness of the cards, but okay. So I'm now working on a blue colorless artifact deck. And I took a lot of my bulk cards and cards I don't use, cards that I pulled in the pre-release or the standard tournament for Edge of Eternity. And, you know, maybe I swapped that card in a deck here or there if it's a better looking one, or I just get rid of it. And I picked up cards for my new deck. And this one, Consecrated Sphinx, which probably won't focus, but that's okay. This is a big heavy duty card. 4 and 2 blue, flying. Whenever an opponent draws a card, you may draw 2 cards. So this is going into a deck that has Howling Mind. I'm gonna have to show you this deck. Howling Mind, Shieldred the Apocalypse, so annoying. And some other cards that make you draw and punish you, other people, for drawing and rewarding me for drawing. It's great. But this card is expensive. There's only been a few reprintings of it. So literally it takes me hours, but I do find a sort of zen in it, like going through all my cards, going through the bulk, going through the different websites to sell it to, creating my buy list. And in doing so, I end up reading and absorbing and I guess contextualizing a lot of the cards that I normally just go, no, where are the rares? Where's the money cards? Where's the card I'm looking for? And it's like a really good way to get familiar with the game. And then I end up trading it in. And then because I personally would rather spend $65 on packs, I don't know, than a single, I know you should buy singles, I use that buy-in credit to buy like the heavy the heavy duty cards that I otherwise wouldn't normally buy with money. So that is the story, and that's this card. I actually got a bunch of cards. This ever-flowing chalice is from Fallout, unnecessary, doesn't need to be Fallout, and I got a Surge version of it because, you know, why wouldn't I? I know, right? But again, using the credit and the bulk, and that's how I tend to buff up a lot of my decks. A lot of my decks have really old cards that I used to play with or win for ante. You've heard this all before. Or cards I managed to pull. Oh, thank goodness. But mostly, I tend to fill in the blanks, and I'd like to upgrade the cards by doing this kind of every couple months bulk run through. It's not all my ball, you know, sometimes I realize it's just very therapeutic. Anyway, this has nothing to do with anything. I have seen videos where people are like sponsored by like sell your cards, and honestly, you should sell your bulk. You know, turn it into something useful, and obviously it takes forever to go through the online buy list, but you actually would probably get a better understanding of the overall game, not that you don't, than you know you would otherwise by not going through every single card to like sell 1,000 of them. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to this ramble, and see you later.